Andrew McCART, IFL TV in association with MTK Global. Delighted, as you know, as always, to be joined by the madman himself, TYRONE McKENNA. Ty, what is happening, brother?
All good, all good. Just chilling. It's a rest day, Sunday. So no training for me today, just up and leave.
Well, you're obviously in camp because you've got a very, 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 I want to say, a very tough fight ahead of you in March, man. Against Zankos Turarov, who's a Kazakh guy. Now I've seen him fight. He's undefeated, high knockout ratio. What's your thoughts on the fight? That's simple.
It's exactly what I like. Hard fights. You know what? It is tough. He was supposed to be in the golden contract at one stage, and I watched a lot of him, so I know exactly what he's like. He's a tough fighter. He hits hard, but there's a lot of things I see that he lacks, and I think I can exploit. So, although he is undefeated, he's had 24 fights, and I've had 21 wins and 2 losses. He's undefeated in 24 fights, and I'm still ranked higher than him in 100 in box rec. So it just shows the caliber of people compared to me that he's fighting. So I think experience and being in with the higher level opponents is going to be a factor as well. So I think he's been inactive as well. So that also could play a part. I mean, there's a lot of factors in this fight that could play a part in my favor. So I'm going into this very confident. I mean, everyone's looking at it on paper and going, oh, he's 24-0, he's 17 knockouts. But I've been in with hard hitters before, and it doesn't faze me. So it doesn't bother me that he does hit hard. And, you know, you can have a good record all you want, but records don't mean nothing when you're in the ring.
Well, that's it. Like I was going to be my next question, that he hasn't faced anyone your caliber, but you've faced the Jack Catteralls or Harry Davises of these worlds. So you've faced much tougher competition compared to the thing. And you said, you answered it yourself that this going to be an advantage for you, or it's going to help you in this fight. Are you his best opponent? Are you his sort of best opponent he's ever faced to date?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I looked at his record, looked at everyone he's fought. I'd say this is a big jump for him. Not just he's stepping up easy. He's going for a big jump here. I don't think a caliber of fighters he's fought are anywhere near my level. So I think it's going to be a big shock to him.
See, the thing is for Turarov though is like you say, he hasn't faced anyone like you, but now he has got that big name in his sights, i.e. you, that you might just get the best Turarov that anyone's ever seen. He's going to train twice as hard. He's going to do this. So you might get the best Turarov we've all seen.
I really hope so. I don't want to fight both. I don't want easy fights. Easy fights don't get me up in the morning, don't get me out of bed. So I want the best Turarov. I want the fans to be happy. I want a war. I want him to be as fit as he can, hit as hard as he can, hit as fast as he can. I'm bringing it on the night. I don't want no excuses after battering. I'd fight for the fans, and I like the fans to get the best fight possible. And I seen his name, and I thought the fans would be happy with that. I had a choice with a few fighters, and I chose this, probably the hardest fight out of them all, because I believe the fans would be happiest to see me in another war, and I believe this is what it's going to be. So I hope for the best, Turarov, because just for the fans.
I think every interview we've mentioned it, that you do like a war. So you mentioned it yourself. Go back to the Harry Davis fight. You boxed a more boxing fight, not a fight. You know what I mean? You boxed very, very well off the back foot. You didn't stay in the pocket too long. You got on your bike a little bit. You bobbed and weaved. You done a little bit more movement than that you normally do, if it's safe to say, because we all know you like to get into a war. Are you going to change things up a little bit here and maybe sit in the pocket against somebody like Turarov, or you might just...
I wouldn't know the answer to that. No, you know exactly the answer. I am going for war. You can take 2 nails, a hammer, and plant my feet in the center of the ring because I'm not moving. There'll be no backward steps. I am going for a high-paced, high-intensity, fun war. so it'll be enjoyable for all the fans. Last fight yesterday, I boxed. I thought that was it was probably the smartest thing to do, the best game plan they could have had against O'Hara Davies. But now I just wanna have wars, and that's what I'm gonna have. I'm gonna have educated wars. I'm not gonna be just throwing punches for the sake of throwing punches, but I'm gonna be an educated pressure, high intensity war.
Let's go back to the O'Hara Davis fight. Have you seen it back, and what's your thoughts? I mean, you thought you won immediately after the fight as well, but have you managed to watch the fight back and analyze a little bit more? And what's your thoughts?
I haven't been able to watch it back yet. I've tried a few times, and I just get frustrated and annoyed, so I turn it off. But like, we don't really dwell on that fight. I learned a few things from it, and I've got over the fight. I'm ready to shoot on. I've got a big title fight again, and a tough opponent. So that's exactly what I wanted. After the defeat, I said to Jamie Conlon, I don't want to take a backward step. I don't want to fight a journeyman. I don't want to fight.
I remember you said that, yeah, after the fight.
A warm up fight. I don't want to fight anyone of that kind of caliber. I'm at a level where I want to fight the best, and TURAROV was the best name that came up. It was for a title, and I said, "Fuck it, let's go."
What title is it?
I mean, he was hard favorite going in this golden contract. So let's see if he's as hype as if he lives up to the hype.
There you go. You mentioned the titles on the line. What titles on the line? Because I've checked BoxRec and it doesn't say there's a title on the line.
Yeah, WBO Intercontinental.
Oh, that's it. That's a title he holds, isn't it? He holds that title.
Yeah, it was. He hadn't fought in a year and a half, so I think it was vacated. Right. So it's a vacant belt.
Right.
So
it's out in Dubai against TURAROV, but obviously with, you know what I mean, with all these things that's happening of lately, is your mindset that it's still happening? It's still going ahead?
It's still going ahead. Like, it's 100% happening, but it's just whether where the venue is going to be or what it's going to be like. Is there going to be crowds or whatever? I really hope for Dubai. I mean, who doesn't want to go out to Dubai? So I'm hoping it still happens in Dubai, but I'm ready for a change of venue to anywhere last minute, because you have to be ready for that kind of thing in COVID, don't you?
Yeah, exactly, mate. This whole situation, it's a funny business. I can't remember who it was, but somebody sent out a tweet saying it's a hard life being a boxer, but during these times it's even harder. Are you finding it like that?
It's just hard to even train. Like, no gyms are open. So say I train in obviously Dublin, but I'm not going to go down Dublin unless I have a fight, because you spend a fortune down there on accommodation and stuff. So even trying to get a gym around here that you can go to, but you can't because they're not open. And then just trying to get a fight, it seems like every fight's getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, or called off, or someone has COVID or something like that. So it is a very frustrating. But for me, I'm very lucky that I am where I am in my career. I mean, I think it'd be very, very tough to be a prospect in this kind of environment, or just starting 1-0 or 2-0, and you're waiting. Then guys are the ones I feel sorry for the most, because they're going to be waiting a year and a half, 2 years before the next fight, and they're not. It's not like they get paid massive amounts of money to keep them for the year.
Yeah.
So they're the ones really struggling. I think the grassroots, the people only beginning the pro boxing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, Alex Arthur has spoke about this, that with the amateur scene as well, we're going to lose a generation of fighters if we can't get the championships open again, or at least get some amateur fights going. Because we know Eastern Europeans, they're out and about and that. But like you say, it's a tough time for everybody. But like you mentioned there, that you're lucky the way you are in your career. But again, you're lucky in the sense that you're with MTK. I mean, you've lost the golden contract last year, tail end of last year, and already you're dived headfirst into a tough fight for a title. So you're with the best.
I was semi-shocked. Well, I wasn't shocked, but for a tail, like I was expecting a big fight, a hard fight, to be offered to me, but I didn't think a title would be on the line. So buzzing the MTK can actually make that happen. And Jamie, they worked hard to get me a title fight, and to come off a loss and go straight into not even like a small title, it's a big title. WO Intercontinental is a great title to have. So it's the work magic. They're legends.
Yeah, they're definitely. Ty, you're like you say, you win the W in the Continental. I think you're already highly ranked as well now. The sort of caliber opponents that you faced and stuff like that at world level. But when you look at this division at world level with like Ramirez's, the Josh Taylors, the Jack Catteralls, the Regis Prograis, like even at the Jack, like I mentioned Jack Catterall again, Josh Taylor, Branchek, bloody Sapida. Fuck, there's loads of names out there for you, man. So you win this fight again. I know you're not looking too far ahead, but there's even bigger and better fights for you in the future, isn't it?
The super lightweight is stacked. I mean, the top 10 are unbelievable. I said after that fight, like I'm ranked number 14 in BoxRec, and obviously I want to fight people ranked higher than me. And I said anyone in that top 10 I'd fight straight away. But, I mean, obviously Ramirez and Josh Taylor are like elite level, so they're going to fight. I'm hoping they vacate and move up a bit to fight maybe Terence Crawford or whatever, and then there's 4 belts sitting there for the taking for the rest of the top 10 or top 15. So but that's the plan. Beat TURAROV, and then I'm going to be ranked with WBO very high, and then hopefully fight for that. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Catterall rematch. Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, Carroll's fucking he's number one, obviously, and I like Carroll. He's a nice person, but had a great fight the first fight. But I mean, if I beat TURAROV, or when I beat TURAROV, and I'm ranked in the top 5, I mean, why could not happen? A rematch. Everyone would love a wee rematch of that because it was exciting as fuck.
I was
12 rounds of action.
Exactly. I was there for that first fight as well. It was great. You got knocked down a couple of times before the
We
fight.
need the crowd back.
Definitely. 100%, man. Let's get the crowds back. Ty, I've got to ask you, man. I'll be stupid not to. What's your thoughts on Jake Paul going at the Irish folk and Conor McGregor and Dylan Moran and stuff like that, man? I mean, he's going after every single one of you, man. You might be next.
And I fucking hope I'm next. Get me my house paid off. But do you know what? It's I don't know. It's turned into like a circus kind of thing. And like I've seen Khabib's now a footballer. I mean, it just seems like anyone can be anything if you've got a bit of notoriety.
You could be an actor.
I know. I could be an actor. Who could imagine that? But I don't mind the YouTubers fighting. If they stay in their lane in the fight, like other YouTubers or basketballers or footballers or anything like that. But to step in the boxing world and slander like the greatest boxers there is, or even up and coming prospects, you're not going to last a couple of rounds. So don't run your mouth. The actual boxers, the actual people that have trained all their life about the fight. But just stay in your lane. I mean, it brings in views. It's good for boxing, but stay in your lane.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. Well, one final word before I let you go, and I can get my stuff
done. Leg, knock you out of it.
Yeah, there you go. So stay in your lane. I'll knock you out. Ty, before I let you go, because I'm starving. I want to get my Sunday dinner, mate.
Well, fucking rub it in. Rub it in. I'm starving. Do you know if I'm starving? I've been starving for 3 weeks.
You're not trying to make weight now this far out, are you?
It's fucking right on. It's a long fucking uphill battle.
Oh, mate, you can do it easy, mate. You've done it a number of times before. You know, we can bang on weight anyway.
It never gets less depressing. Listen, see, with old age, weight gets put on it a lot easier than it does when you're 25 and 26.
I bet it
so
does.
It never gets any easier. You're fucking. It's depressing. It's a depressing 6 weeks, to be honest. 7 weeks, 8 weeks.
Just think of the glory at the end, though, mate. Think of the glory at the end.
That's it. Are you going to be over in Dubai or what's correct?
Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed.
Fucking. Were you supposed to be over for the Lee McGregor one?
Yeah, I was meant to be. So, well, it's all the Irish guys. It's you, Gary Crocker, on the.
I know. So, it should be done on St. Paddy's Day. It should have been done on St. Paddy's Day. That'd have been good.
That would have
been Irish good.
But listen, fingers crossed, man. Like I hate seeing fighters go through camp and then last minute the fight's called off, man. It's sick.
It's nothing worse. I feel sorry for Lee McGregor and Sean McCombin. They've been in camp for about 17, 18 weeks.
Well, this is the third time for Lee McGregor. This is the third time this fight's been called off.
No, that breaks your heart. Not even just not the fight, but how much you're spending in camp as well, and spending away from your kids and all. So you're just an ongoing. But and then you can't when it gets called off, they say here it's going to be 5 weeks time. So you're like, right, I have to stay in camp. So that's another 5 weeks, and then another 5 weeks, another 5. That's tough.
It's tough, man. It is. Like, I think Lee's been in camp for like fucking 16 weeks because he got called off. He went home for 2 weeks and then went back into camp, got called off again, then done it again, and it's just it's like NTK will do their magic. They'll work their magic, man. They'll get it back on, no doubt. But
they will get it back on it. I can't wait the crowds are back because see fighting in front of no crowd, it's just shit.
I know, man. I was there. You and Hara Davis, man. That would have been some atmosphere. Well, there.
I was built up for 4 fucking years, and then no crowd gets to go to it, and it'd have been an unbelievable atmosphere.
It definitely was. But one final word, then, Ty. What's you're fighting TURAROV? One final word in that fight.
Just as I said, expect war, expect fireworks, expect me not to take one backward step. I am going for a war and knocking them out. Well, ending the hype, bursting the bubble.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect nothing else from you, Ty.
What?
I wouldn't expect nothing else from you, mate. Honestly.
That's good. Right. Good talking to you, Andy. Haven't seen you in a while.
Definitely. It's good seeing you again, mate. And hopefully I'll see you out in Dubai.
Yep. Hopefully.
Enjoy, Paul. Well done.